Hello again. Thank you very much for joining me here on Movie Ninja. And tonight, I'm going to be returning to something that I did last year, Holiday Hidden Gems. Now, these are holiday movies that may or may not go under someone's radar. Maybe there's something that you've seen, maybe once and maybe revisited maybe now and then. Or, this is a selection that I've made that I think that can be incorporated into most people's holiday viewing, but maybe just, for whatever reason, you might not have thought of it in a very long time. So, with regards to that, tonight, I'm actually going to be talking about and recommending. So there won't really be like a rating, because this is a recommendation. I've seen this many, many times over the years. And this is the Mystery Science Theater version of Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with Mystery Science Theater, it is set in outer space. Unfortunately, this man, Joel Hodgson, has been taken hostage by his former employers, a mad scientist and his minion, and he is now forced to watch some of the worst movies ever put to celluloid. So, himself and his three robot companions, particularly Gypsy, Crow, and Tom. There's also Cambot as well, but Cambot is the camera. So, your POV is essentially Cambot. So, but his two primary companions, Tom Servo and Crow T Robot, are the ones that unfortunately have to go into the theater with him and just slog it out, watching the worst possible movies imaginable. So, Santa Claus Conquers the Martians was there. They had another Santa Claus related movie, but this one in particular, this episode of Mystery Science Theater, Santa Claus Conquers the Martians, is very much in line with an overall sort of like feel and aesthetic of, December holidays. Particularly, you have even an invention exchange that features, possible Christmas, mad science Christmas gifts. And, it just has a general tone of Christmas to it, rather than just being a Christmas-themed, film. So, for this episode in particular, getting back to it, Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. Santa Claus Conquers the Martians is a film. It is the holiday equivalent of Plan 9 from Outer Space. That's the best descriptor that I can possibly give for it. So, it turns out that on Mars, that the parents are mildly concerned that their children are listless, detached, maybe even a little bit sad, or maybe even worse, maybe even depressed. And so, do they take some time to ask their children, hey, why are you always watching, those Earth programs? And what's so special about Earth TV and things like that? The children aren't really interested in talking to their parents. Mostly because it seems rather obvious that Martian parents are zero, invested in their children anyway. But anyways, aside from that. So, the Martians have a conundrum. Their children seem sad for reasons somewhat unknown to them. I mean, it's not like they live with their kids or anything like that. Anywho, alright, judgment. I'm going to put the judgment over there. Alright, moving on with the story. So, they go to a wise elder, a hermit of some kind, and he tells them our children aren't really children because they're not allowed to play. They just get plugged into their electronic teaching machines, and then we just kind of feed them and send them off to bed, So what comes to the attention of the Martians is that, hey, Earth kids have this really fun mascot, this sort of northern Polish businessman, if you will. That's kind of a mystery as to what exactly is so special about this guy. But anyways, they hear about this guy, Santa Claus. And Santa Claus plus toys equals happy kids. So, Occam's razor, let's go to the most immediate solution. Let's get Santa Claus, okay? Because if Santa Claus comes to Mars, he'll make toys. The children will play with the toys. The children will be happy. It's not really so much about, you know, having a deep conversation with your children, spending time with them, or, you know, trying to build bonds and, you know, getting them invested in their culture and traditions and such. Nope. It's not about LOVE, it's about SWAG. I mean, seriously, come on, people. Anyways, okay. But in their mind, Santa plus toys equals happy Martian children. So, on their way to abduct Santa Claus, the Martians also happen to pick up a brother and sister. For reasons that I've watched... Guys, I've watched this several times over the years. I've been watching Mystery Science Theater for over 20 years, all right? It was one of my favorite shows watching when I was growing up. I used to watch it on Fridays on Comedy Central, and then later on during the Sci Fi era with Mike. And the thing is, like, I don't know why they abduct the Earth children. Okay, logical me is like they needed to have... It's a Christmas movie. They needed to have kids in it. So, yeah. I mean, why not? But ultimately, okay. So they asked these kids, hey, kids, we've seen a lot of like Santa Clauses, but we want to know which one is the real one. And they drop dime on Santa Claus, essentially. Yo, you want the real Santa Claus. OGSC. And he's up at the North Pole. All right? So you got to go to the North Pole, like, you know, to get him. So they also abduct them. Because like, but these kids, you know, the ones that just snitched on Santa, if we just leave them, they'll just, you know, turn us into the authorities. Because that's a concern since you've traveled all the way from Mars to Earth. Whatever. Anyways, they abduct Santa Claus. And, you know, Santa Claus gets, you know, somewhat established. He's, you know, he has his own automated workshop. You know, all he has to do is press buttons and he makes toys and whatnot. And everything seems to be going swimmingly. They got their, you know, abducted Santa Claus, the abducted, you know, Earth children. Everything's great. There's always that one. No matter what. There's always that one that no matter what the initiative is, no matter what, and like the initiative here is to make the children of Mars happy, you know? But there's this one bad character, Boldar. Boldar doesn't want the Martian children to be happy. Boldar wants to destroy Santa because he believes that he is a terrible influence on Martian children. They'll start, you know, becoming needy and whiny and getting underfoot, expecting us to have conversations with them. I mean, what kind of parents are we on Mars? We grew up and we didn't have conversations with our parents. And now all of a sudden, all these kids are happy and they want us to play with them? That doesn't make any sense. So Boldar then starts a one-man quest. Well, essentially. He has a few goons, but essentially it's him at the helm of this. To destroy Santa Claus. And that's our movie. You know, like, oh, well, like, you know. And I won't spoil it, how it ends. Y'all, it's a Christmas movie. I mean, there's not a whole lot of tension with regards to, like, what happens. Like, will there be Christmas or will there not be Christmas? All the same, you know. This is, I think, a very good start to the holiday season. You can find it, you know, it's in the Mystery Science Theater library. You can find it online if you look, you know. This is a fan favorite episode. It's definitely like annually part of my holiday viewing. This, you know, you get this crazy Plan 9 from Outer Space-esque sort of like film to just like, you know, sit back, enjoy all of the jokes that Joel and the bots make at its expense. And you also, as an added bonus, you may also be entertained by and maybe even pick up a new Christmas Carol. Primarily focused on one of the schlockiest, best 80s action films, Roadhouse. So, anyways, this is my recommendation. Have you guys seen Santa Claus Conquers a Martian by Mystery Science Theater 3000? Or, like, not by. I mean, they obtained the rights, more or less, for their, like, you know, show purposes. But still, have you seen the Mystery Science Mystery Science Theater 3000 version of Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. Do you like it? Do you have any other Mystery Science Theater related favorites? You know, it doesn't have to be seasonal, just like whatever, you know? But, you know, the holidays are starting. You know, I'm already starting to feel the Christmas grind. And sometimes it can be a bit stressful. So, you know, let's start this out with some levity, with some humor, and just some, you know, gets us into that sort of like holiday cheery mood. So, anyways, that's my recommendation. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. Thank you very much for stopping by. This has been Movie Ninja, and I hope you have a great rest of the day.